What's up, people? Welcome back to another explanation video. This time I'm gonna go over the order of approaching the higher end content in AL. The reason why I make this video is that, because some people are confused, like what they're supposed to do or how they're supposed to, continue the contents whenever they finish the story. And I have people that actually finish the story, finish the DLC and stuff. They go right straight into fighting divine beasts, and then they will say like, I can't do these contents and stuff. So, I'm gonna make a roadmap, which you should follow. Some people they do it differently. That's only if you can do it slightly differently, how experienced you are. Again, like when you're playing the game, obviously for me, I took a different route. It's different for a lot of people, like when they just started this game and still trying to figure out where to go. This is a somewhat of roadmap will be good. Like I said, it depends on how well you know the game and how you can skip some of the stuff, but not everybody can skip stuff, like I said. So with that being said, let's do this. Okay, starting number 1. This is what pretty much most people will do. The recommendations are finish the story, the base story, from chapter 1 to chapter 6. Finish that. You need to finish I think you need to finish at some of the chapters to even unlock the normal rates to begin with. So I wouldn't recommend people will just do a few chapter, unlock a normal rate, go do that. Like I say, it depends how much you know about this game. If I were starting over, then this is completely different. But like I said, from the beginner's perspective, I recommend you guys to finish the story first, chapter 1 to chapter 6, to unlock the normal raid, to unlock the blacksmith. So, number 2. Once you finish the story, you can starting by doing some normal raids or divine beasts, not the level 400 version, the normal version, the level 80s divine beasts. That you should be able to do no problem. Although the raid is much easier than summon the divine beast. Plus the raid gears, the normal raid gears are much better. It is definitely recommended either way, but back in the day, when the game first came out, it was divine beast first, then normal raid. Since you already got the normal raid at this point, you can basically do the normal raid and skip the divine beast if you want to. You don't have to fight them. It's not really necessary, but that's only if you want to get the achievement to defeat all 10 of them. Then, yeah, you would. Other than that, do the normal raid or divines, either one, to get some, get some normal raid gears, get some practice. So after you complete that, step number 3. Doing the ancient apostles. There were 3 updates, 1 through 4. So starting with Xenon, going towards Tise, and then Selka's chapter, and ends with Silicus. And in order to do that stuff, like the last 3 chapter, you can still if you like, the first chapter shouldn't be no problem right after the story. Even if people go straight to Ancient Apostle 1 through 4, it's still fine. But getting some normal rates, getting some of that stuff will definitely help you quite a bit from Ancient Apostle 2 to 4. By doing so, you also have to do that to actually unlock the multiplayer, since I think they made it like you have to complete to a certain point before you can start go online. And remember that if somebody's progress is higher than you won't be able to join them regardless. And that might be one of the problem why people cannot find room or find other people. It's because either your progress is too low, you need to finish more, or just sometimes it just don't have rooms. Simple as that. And like I say, after you complete 1 through 4, you will unlock certain mutant beasts. There are certain mutant beast levels you have to complete 1 through 4 to unlock them for like the upgrade shards. If you do decide to farm them, well, which this obviously I'm gonna go through like to the end of the point, like to basically to the current state, because the whole point of making this video is to guide people who want to get there. I mean, if you want to stop at any point, it's okay. It's your choice. But I'm gonna keep going. Once you unlock the mutant beast, then you'll be able to upgrade your weapons if you like to this early point, because I think it's 50 or 75 level, it's not too difficult. You should be able to plus your weapon, but the thing is, you'll be getting a little bit less shards. The higher the level for the mutants, the more shards you'll get. Even higher, that's where you'll get the shards to require to upgrade even further. So with that being said, it is still pretty early. I'm talking about from people who just started learning the game perspective. So, and then step number 4, DLC number 1, the Forget-Me-Not, if you have it. If you don't have that one, you probably will skip and start Extreme. But if you have the DLC, the paid DLC number 1, Forget-Me-Not, I recommend you to do the Forget-Me-Not DLC, because you get a lot of good weapons from doing the DLC. So you don't have to worry about farming too much. Some of the weapons will get you there easily, especially when you complete the DLC 1. You'll unlock the Forget-Me-Not sword. If you're a sword user, that thing will carry you for a very long time, which is the best sword, in-game story sword you can possibly get at the moment. Now with that being said, complete the DLCs. Like the DLC will take quite a bit of time, so 10 hours, pretty long, unless you're skipping everything. So other than that, step number 5, once you complete the DLC, move on to extreme raids. Technically you can do extreme raid right after or before Ancient Apostle, so it depends which route you want to take. If you want to challenge the extreme raid bosses, you have to at least prepare some of the normal raid gears, but by completing the DLCs will give you quite a bit of good swords and stuff, and it gives you quite a bit of levels just by doing the Ancient Apostle 1 through 4 and DLC number 1. Remember that the higher the level you are, the less accuracy it requires to do the higher end of the content. So it is a good idea to level up just to require less accuracy. Not necessarily making the game easier. However, you still have to learn a lot of stuff in this game. Like I mentioned it many times. Like the buffs, customs, etc. You still have to learn regardless. So, other than that, when you start now, step number 5, extreme raid, then you will be able to challenge the boss north through east. So that will be pretty difficult. The order is north, south, west, and east. Do not do north and skip to the east. It's not that simple, so you will find a hard time. Each raid requires different accuracy, and it's higher accuracy than the other one. And it's difficult, more difficult than each one. So, like I said, only if you know how to play the game, then you'll be you can think to skip the game. But like I said, I'm saying this from the perspective where people just started the game, so after you complete the extreme raid, step number 6, once you get some good gears, start leveling up your ancient apostle bosses 1 through 4, or whichever. They're all the same. So, however, each one of them has exclusive drops. Just be aware of that. Now you level up to like ancient apostle to 200. That's where the bosses start to change. That's where you'll start to get XT gears. So each step you take is well geared up. It becomes even more and more difficult. So once you reach level 200 for the ancient apostle bosses, trying to get them to level 400 if it's possible, because there's no guarantee you will get the gears you wanted even within 200 levels. Like I farmed all of them to 400 levels. I still not get the gears that I actually wanted. That's a lot of runs. So there's no guarantee you will get everything you needed by the time you max out your ancient apostle bosses. So it will be very difficult to determine the RNG. Now once you get that stuff, it'll be a while, but once you do get the XT gears, prepare them, at that point, you remember, like you can start leveling up. The reason why I'm saying mutant beasts is that you can technically do them whenever you feel like it. Whenever you have the accuracy, whenever you think you can do them, then you can start doing the shards and level them up. Upgrade your weapons. So obviously, by the time you complete extreme raids, and even ancient apostle, like ancient apostle, it's actually more difficult than like the normal extreme raids. They require much more higher accuracies and stuff. So extreme raid is beneath ancient apostle. That's why I say, gear up before you take them on. So once you obtain the XT gears that you wanted, like I said, during that period of time, you can not level up. You can start doing the mutant beasts. Even since extreme started or finished, then you can get the shards to upgrade your weapons. So you can repeat that process until you reach level 400. Just keep leveling up and use whatever to level 400. You can also, if you don't want to level up your ancient apostle bosses, you can just level up them to certain levels, but you have to back up your save. If you just want the item drop from the ancient apostle bosses, then you're gonna back up your save. But the recommendations are level them up regardless, because you never know if they have better gears or better stuff drop in the future. Plus, it is a good practice, to understand, to learn. It's not necessary like if I skip the raid, I'll be fine. The process is to learn how to fight the enemies, not skip how to fight the enemies, because you're gonna run into much more difficult enemies later. Then extreme will become, quite easy if you're gonna able to do like the high-end stuff. Then when you go back to extreme raid, it'll be much easier. That's only if you can. If you're not, then do the extreme first, then going up. Now, once you gear up, I assume at that point you geared up XT gears and you max them out and you get what you want. And then number 7, which is to take on the level 400 Divine Beast. Like, the level 400 Divine Beast, it is the last thing you want to take them on right now, like in the game, until this current state. They probably will introduce much more difficult stuff in the future updates, but until this point, this video stop at this point of the time, the current state, where you will learn like to fight a Divine Beast. Like all four of the Divine Beasts, they are extremely difficult to kill. So this is why I say, if you think extreme and level 400 Ancient Apostle is difficult, and you think if you get the weapons, you can just skip the rest of the raid and skip rest of the levels for the Ancient Apostle, when you're fighting level 400 Divine Beast, it'll make your head scratch easily. It'll drive you crazy. Like, the level 400 Divine Beasts are on another level. Like, they're not even on another level, they're on another dimension. That's just how powerful they are. So if you haven't not seen what they can really do, once you fight them, you'll see. That's why I say, don't skip the steps in this game. It's not that simple. Only skip it if you know what you're doing. That's the only exception. Don't skip it if you don't know what you're doing. So that's why I said it so many times back in the day. Do not skip steps, because it will help you to get to the higher end content if that's where you decide to go. If you don't want to go there, then you can stop any steps that you want earlier. Other than that, the only thing mentioning after level 400 Divine Beast, it's optional. Like I said, the Memory Arena, I don't really want to mention it because it's good to have coins if you want to pick up some stuff like the outfit, if you want to challenge, if you want to convert your weapon levels. Other than that, not so much. Memory Arena, you can do it relatively respect to your accuracies and etc., your prep, your gears. But Memory Arena is actually difficult too once you get to higher, like the 350, 400, 500. That's where you'll start needing some of the best gears in this game and knowledge. So because like that high of the Memory Arena, you really have to prepare for it, because it's just yourself in there. There's no AIs. It's all yours. So you have to basically get what you can, and use what you can. That's why Memory Arena is not really necessary if you don't want anything from the shop, the memory shop, or you don't want coins to convert stuff or exchange gear levels and etc. Honestly, for me, I do Memory Arena for challenge and convert coins, levels, because just in case if the new stuff comes out, it's cheaper to convert coins, transfer weapon levels, than actually fully upgrade a weapon to plus 30. It's expensive. I'd rather spend 100 coins than farming for 2k shards to level up. So it's your choice. Other than that, yeah. That's why I make this list. I know the list will go, somewhat different when Pay DLC 2 comes out, or even higher endgame content's coming out, which you'll continue with that, steps. by the time you reach able to defeat divine level 400 divine beasts, you'll be fine whenever the content comes out in the future. But some of them might be more difficult than the level 400 divine beasts. So this is the whole reason why I make this roadmap for people who are, still trying to figure out where to go. That is generally the question to ask. Where do I go from that point? So that is pretty much the whole roadmap that I construct for people who still trying to figure out. First time playing. I expect people that take some different routes, but that's okay. Some people might skip it because they know how to play a game. That's a different story. So other than that, for people first time playing it, this is somewhat a roadmap that you would follow to reach the higher end content, the much more difficult end of the content. Like I said, that's why it's important. When somebody just finished the story and they tell me I cannot beat any of the stuff that you're doing, like show me builds and stuff, I'm like, dude, you just finished the story, calm down. You're far away from getting to this point of the game. That's why I say, you're not gonna do the story and come in here expecting to defeat them. In fact, it's not even possible right after the story. So that's why some people, when they finish the DLC 1, they return into the map trying to fight some of the enemies. They're high levels. They're really high levels. That's why you'll see them struggle. It is unclear which route you should take in this game a lot of time, because it's not linear as much. This is what you need to do, this is where you need to go, this is where all the level list up. No, that's not. This game is quite complex when it comes to what you should do, after each part you complete, what step you should take. It also depends on what you can do. It's not necessarily, what the content is, what you can do. Some people do it early, some people do it late. Depends how experienced they are. So, like I say, don't bother complain about if you just finish the story and you want to get XT gears. You want to do the level 400 divine beasts to get the gears. You're not ready yet. Also a reason why people don't really answer for carry or anything, because these guys back in my background right now, there's nobody really can carry you legitimately. Yeah, you have mob people. Yeah, obviously they'll carry you, but I don't talk about that stuff here, so it's pathetic. Like I said, if you want to do it legitimately, and you want to do your way and trying to understand the game to get to this point, this is somewhat of route you would take. And I hope this clarified quite a bit, because I do get quite a bit of message say, I can't do these endgame contents. Even if you use these gears, I still can't do it, because like I say, it's not as easy just to skip the game. That's why I mentioned it. No matter how you do it, you still need to learn, regardless. If you do decide to go to that part of the game, which is the higher end of AL, it's not made to be skipped. And don't dream about where I can just not prepare and go straight to it. I'll be doing just fine. No, you're not doing just fine. You'll be completely the opposite. It's like if you don't study for the exam. Yeah, you'll be doing just fine. Great. You're a prodigy, then it's different. But most people, if you don't study, you're gonna fail. That's just how it is. That's why I said, don't skip the steps. Learn each way through. That's how they design the game. It's not made for people to skip. So, like I said, that's that for this video, and I hope you guys enjoy it and learn and get an idea what the path you will take to get to this point. So other than that, yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. Until next time.